Good morning, everyone. I have to start out by apologizing. Yesterday, I made a mistake and I said that there were 40 occurrences of abide, which there are not. There are 23 occurrences of abide. What I did was I put my entire tally into the line for chapter 4 rather than putting just chapter 4's occurrences in that line. I apologize greatly. I hope it didn't cause you too much trouble. Okay, moving on today. Let's look at our papers and see what we have discovered. So yesterday I had us look up sin, sinning, sinned, commandment or command, and life. We found in chapter 1 5 occurrences of sin, in chapter 2 5 occurrences of sin, chapter 3 10, 4 1, and chapter 5 6. That's a pretty even scattering of this word sin. And when we go and look specifically at chapter 3, we see John making this strong case about practicing sin and how sin is bad. And this is really an important point for him to nail home, because so many people try to justify their sin. So he's really driving home how important it is for us to not be involved in sin. And you notice the connection here, the other key word we have in this section is abides. So he's making this point that you're not abiding in God if you are going on sinning. Okay, let's look at command. Now, command or commandment, we didn't have as many occurrences of. There's no occurrences in chapter 1, 6 in chapter 2, 4 in chapter 3, 1 in chapter 4, and 3 in chapter 5. But command, there's something interesting about this word command or commanded. Pretty much every time we see it, you can see it here in purple, it is grouped together. We have these groupings of all the occurrences in that section, in that chapter, all in one area. Then moving on to chapter 3 up here, again, all the occurrences grouped together in one area. Same with chapter 5. There's the end of chapter 4 here, and then chapter 5, all having those occurrences grouped together. So we see John making a point about commandments, but he's not going over and over saying command, 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 but he's driving home a point talking about commandments and then talking about something else for a little while. Finally, I had us look up life. In life, we had a pretty even spattering. 3 occurrences in chapter 1, 2 in chapter 2, 4 in chapter 3, 1 again in chapter 4, and then 7 in chapter 5. I find this interesting. We have 1 each of these words in chapter 4. Let's go to chapter 7 and talk about life just a touch. Chapter 5, we have life over and over. And something I find interesting here is the different types of life that John talks about. We're going to go through and we're going to look at this in greater detail in one of our future videos. But we have throughout this book and in this section eternal life, spiritual life, and later on, or in other parts of the book, we have this life. He also talks about people who don't have life. Very interesting use of this word life. Now, let's talk about your assignment for today. We are coming to the end of our keyword searches. We've gone through and we've found quite a few different keywords in this book. There are more keywords, but what we're going to find is now the keywords are going to be less frequent, although they are very important. And I'll be honest, I'm running out of colors to color code. But today, I want you to go and find, I'm sorry, my morning phlegm is messing me up. I want you to find know, knows, or knowledge. And I'm using this bright yellow highlighter. I already used yellow for light, but you can differentiate between the highlighter and the colored pencil. Know, knows, or knowledge. This is going to be a big word in this book. Okay, are we only finding one keyword? No. Your challenge today, and this is going to be a little harder than the other days. Find knowledge. That'll be relatively easy. Know, knows, knowledge. But then I want you to go through and I want you to make a list. I want you to make a list of theologically important words that occur but don't occur a lot. I'll give you some examples. Walk. Walk is a big, important word, but it doesn't occur very often. Or words like hate. Again, important word, but it doesn't occur very often. Go through, read through, and see if you can find theologically important words that don't occur a lot. Just make a list of them. And tomorrow, we'll compare our lists. Thank you for your time and your attention. Have fun finding know, knowledge, and knows, as well as those other theologically important words that don't occur as often. Have fun, stay safe.